we ask a question about the epic of Gilgamesh?
Yes, okay. Okay.
The Bible
This
of...
is beginning, starting. Okay. I request everyone not to make some noise. If you need to speak, please go up the back. And please speak much lower volume so you do not disrupt. Okay, first question.
How authentic is the Bible? How did Moses write the story of the flood, the Adam and Eve? If he don't have the ancient manuscript of that story that was created of the ancient men, ancient sons of God, or sons sons of Adam. So, but the Sumerian civilization have more ancient than the Semitic civilization, Shemite. How the Bible is authentic, or they just copy from Sumerian, or
since you know that all descendants of Adam includes the Sumerians, the Iraqis, Chaldeans, Akkadians,
Anunnaki.
all Anunnaki is supposed to be the aliens. So don't include that.
Okay.
They're angels. So this is not just in Sumeria. This is in many cultures in that area then. Now, the claim that Moses just copied from Sumeria,
Okay.
or any of the other cultures that they have, is almost a claim that Moses handwrote the Torah by himself.
By himself, yeah.
That is a false claim.
Why?
Why?
Where did
Because
she
the claim of Moses, he was inspired by God. It was God who gave him the inspiration to write them down. Have you heard of
there's no basis?
Have you heard of the Bible
What
code?
about the similarities?
Have you heard of the Bible code?
The Bible code
Every letter of the Jewish alphabet.
has meaning,
No.
has equivalent.
No. There is an equidistant number of letters that has a message.
Okay.
No person can do that unless he has a computer. Get that?
Yeah.
So Moses did not just invent the writing.
But the same.
They meticulously copied the original letters down through the centuries. Okay?
But how did Moses write down the Torah, the Genesis? It's supernatural audible voice from God, and he just write it.
It's not necessarily supernatural audible voice.
So
It could even be his own understanding, but God put it in place.
oh, how did Moses go to the
I'll give you an example.
jump to the conclusion that Adam and Eve and the
Let me
serpent
finish this before I forget.
is in the Egypt?
You know Brother Branham? Did he get from the denominations?
Of course.
Was he inspired by God?
Oh yes, of course.
So the angel did not just dictate to him as others claim. The angel guided him on the truths therein,
So you
on
mean
the
to say,
truths of others that were previously revealed.
so he just copied to Sumerian civilization?
Not all is Sumerian.
So you agree he copied from Sumerian writing?
It's
He
inspired.
knew as a historian, but God guided him when to say talk about it. Okay?
He knew as a historian for
If he studied in Egypt,
he studied in Egypt. He
he
knows the Sumerian
he
civilization.
should have learned of other civilizations.
Yes.
And Brother Fernand, it can be recorded, so please speak in English and related. If there are other concerns, bring them outside. Okay.
So did Moses copied or just copied the writings of Sumeria?
Don't focus only on Sumeria. Sumeria are just one of the cultures.
No discoveries until now. The
Sumeria is not the only culture that have similarities.
Sumerian is the very ancient writings discovered until now. Yeah.
Sumer is not the only ancient one. Okay?
But the Sumer is the very ancient writing.
The oldest.
There are others.
Oldest.
There are
No.
others.
Writing.
Who else? Who else?
We are not gonna dig them up right now.
So if Moses knows the story, who did tell it to him?
Did you know Moses learned from his own studies as a child?
How did he?
Tutor.
How
But
Moses study?
in Egypt. Now,
Okay.
but let me finish. When God guided him to write the law, it was God who guided him how to bring the stories together. Okay?
Supernatural.
You can say generally supernatural because he did not just do it by his own. You can read in Corinthians or in also in Exodus, there is the writing of the law in stone, not just the Ten Commandments. Not just the Ten Commandments. So, not just the oral law. There are other writings that came from God, which were later transferred to written paper.
So the Pentateuch.
So, just look for the verse scripture in Corinthians, it's written there, and also in Exodus, that there is other copies of the law in stone. In stone.
Stone. Okay.
So, there is a supernatural interaction of God to him. Just as others would claim, there were supernatural encounters, or ancient alien encounters, to others. I was reading a book, let me finish. I was reading a book about Noah, the Ark of Noah and the flood. And the place where the ark rested at Ararat, there were communities down there. The communities down there has a name for that mountain. They have a name for
Mountain.
Noah and his family. They have a name for the boat. I forgot the exact name.
So what is the relevance?
The relevance is, Sumer is just one of the cultures that inherited the stories of the flood. There are many other cultures who were offshoots of the families in the flood.
So you believe that Sumer writings or Sumerian writings is true?
Partially true. Because as they spread out, they become corrupted. Let me tell you, the very earlier than Sumer, that is the Tower of Babel, of Nimrod. They were still one. Remember, they were still one. They were not yet scattered. So Sumer is just one of the scatterings in Babel.
From Babel.
So, when they scattered, they modified, they have their own changes, their evolutions. Even in the Mayan temple, the Mayas, in China, in Japan, in Africa, in Egypt, in Sumer. So when they spread out, they had each had their own versions. But they all came from a common ancestry.
maybe Moses knows the story from Egypt.
It could be from Egypt. It
So
could be from somewhere else because they corroborate each other then.
so the Shemites or the heretic
You know his father-in-law? Forgot the name of his father-in-law. Jethro. He also knows things. They were priests. They were priests outside of the nation of Israel, not just Egypt. Outside of the nation of Israel, and before they even were priests in Israel, as by
priests outside.
ordained by the law, there were the priests
Outside.
according similar to Melchizedek.
But they are from God.
Some are from God, some are not from God. So, you know, Balaam, he could be used by God, but he chose to be used for the enemy. Question.
Okay. Can I
Stand near the...
When Abraham came from the city of Ur, so we all know that the city of Ur is also the Mesopotamia, di ba? Is that right? Mesopotamia?
Yes.
So that is Sumerian. So when Abraham came from the city of Ur,
By the way, Sister Joanna, do not speak in Tagalog. Speak.
Abraham does not knowledge about what happened in the Garden of Eden. Because Abraham was the father of all the Hebrews. Hebrews was begin to Abraham. So Abraham when God called him out of the city of Ur in the Sumerian, so he has the knowledge of what happening in the Garden of Eden or not.
You're talking of
Abraham. When God called him from the city of Ur, so we all know that the city of Ur, it's the Sumerian.
this is what I can say. He should have some partial knowledge, but not thorough knowledge.
So he had.
Everyone there has a partial knowledge about Adam and Eve.
So where they came his knowledge about what according to your said in Abraham, where did he get his knowledge?
In the Middle East, there is a common knowledge from where people came.
So people
There's a common knowledge about the flood.
So is that true that this knowledge it came originally from the Sumerian?
Not
It's a
necessarily
cuneiform.
Sumeria.
It is writing from the
Sumeria
cuneiform.
are just one of the city-states that came off from Babylon. From Babel, not Babylon. Babel. Babylon is a bigger
So Sumeria
area.
is one of the ancient.
Did you know the
After
city-states?
Babylon.
Let me give you an idea. You know the Assyrians?
Yeah.
Their enemies were the Babylonians.
Yes.
Did you know that they live in the same area
Yeah.
of Mesopotamia? So Assyria is Ashur, another city-state.
Ur.
Babylon is another city-state.
Yes.
So Ur and many others, Akkadian, there are many city-states. Those city-states battle with each other. Some get united, some are dispersed. Look at Greece. They battle each other. Sparta, Athens, Thebes, Thebes. Many others. So, in Europe, there are many tribes. In Italy, Rome was not in control yet of the whole Italian peninsula. It's just one of the city-states. The Christians were also there. But she was able to conquer all of them. When Hannibal Barca came over the Italian Alps, he was able, please do not include some recording there.
Focus here.
Are you noisy there? Did you hear them talk noisy things?
No.
Please preserve the audio quality for... Please have consideration. Okay, now, if some become very noisy in different
So Brother
languages,
Francis,
please reduce them.
where the Bible came from?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, before our Bible, there were writings before, like Job.
From what? From whom?
Different places, different areas.
So they are
So
just
there are writings before the time of Moses. That's the book of Job. Now, I'd like to say, when Moses wrote the first 5 books, it's the first 5 books.
Yes.
Then there was Joshua and many others. Now later, some of the writings got incorporated. There were the Psalms, but they were loose writings of poems
Yeah.
and prose. So, they just got incorporated into the Old Testament.
So, or the
The
one
book of the prophets. There were the book of the prophets that were not included in the Bible, like the book of Nathan. How about the book of Joshua?
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to say right now is
Some
this.
said that there are the book of Enoch and some others.
But we're not going to discuss them right now. I'm going to say something first.
Enoch, book of
I'm going to focus on the first 5 books of Moses. The first 5 books of Moses were the sign that God intervened. Simon's talking something else. So Brother is speaking like a prince. You don't have any consideration for the recording. Simon, did you know that there's a recording there? Are you listening to me? Could you write it out? There's a recording there. Could you rebuke that noisy people down back there?
Please
They're
focus
not
on-
listening. It's alright to eat, but you should not be noisy. You should not speak another language. You should focus on the subject. You should not talk about things.
They got their belly.
Don't make your belly your God. Okay? The word, listen to the word. Okay, let's finish this. So, I hope you get interested with the subject. It's a good subject.
This is very good subject.
Yes.
Okay, just continue, man.
Your voices could be heard even here, Sister Ledled. Mr. Ledled, your voice could be heard. You should whisper, okay? Okay, let's finish this.
So, where did the Bible came from?
Again, what I was saying. The first 5 books of Noah,
No what?
sorry, Moses,
Noah have 5 books.
they're confusing me.
How about
The first 5 books of Moses is our evidence. One of the evidences that God intervened through Moses,
But
that the Bible would be started to be written down. So, before the first 5 books of Moses, the other writings are spread out, like Job. Now, after the first 5 books were written down, other writings were incorporated together with, compiled together with it. That's why the Sadducees believe only the first 5 books.
What about Brother Francis?
The Sadducees believe only the first 5 books. The Pharisees believe other prophets. That's why Christ used the word the law and the prophets. When Christ said the law, that's the first 5 books. And when Christ said the prophets, those are the addendum prophets, addendum writings. So there is the Psalms, the other books like, of course, those that were incorporated like Malachi, Zechariah, Ezra,
Or Francis, that is
Nehemiah. But there are other prophets that were not included there anymore, like the book of Nathan, etc. So, what I can say is this. The first 5 books is supernatural. The rest of the other books is historical. When the other books of the prophets are historical, they are historical that includes supernatural. Why? Because the God also spoke through the prophets. That's what the other writings of the prophets were added unto the first 5 books that became the Old Testament. They are also supernatural, similar to the book of Revelation. Imagine the first 5 books as the Gospels. And the other historical books are the book of Acts. There are the epistles. They're historical. Now, finally, the books of the prophets are like the book of Revelation. It is God directly speaking to the prophet that was written down,
Or Francis,
scribed down.
you cannot
Where the Bible came from. That's That's your question, right?
How about the Noah's flood? How did Moses write that story if he has no basis of written
Moses
manuscript?
had prior knowledge. It was God who guided him how it would be written down.
No, what I'm saying is the basis. If there's no written basis that the story happened.
There are other bases.
What is
The issue is that did Moses rely on them? It's all for our benefit, not for his benefit. Our benefit is this. We have proof, positive evidence that the story of the flood is true. Not because
in Epic of Gilgamesh, the great flood is there.
that means to say it's a universal story. Then, when you say universal story, like in a newspaper or any event that's taken in the press.
So you
If there is
accept.
a singular event like an earthquake, many, Sister Ann, could you speak? You're pampering a prince, okay? So ask him to listen. Okay, now let's continue. Whenever there's a climactic event and all the press, all the newspapers covers it, all the television
You
channels,
cannot deny that our
they cover the same
ancestors,
thing, right?
the Bible just rely on the writings of the other civilizations.
No.
It's like your...
Let me, Brother Menab, listen to me.
So the Bible is not authentic. It's just relying on the.
You see, let's talk about the gospel when they wrote them down.
Not the
So
gospel.
I'm just giving you an idea.
The gospel is of
Authenticity.
course.
We're talking of authenticity. You're saying it's not authentic because it was copied from someone else. Why was it not copied exactly the same? You notice that? If they're gonna copy, they copied all exactly the same. It's not all copied exactly all the same. Not all the same. That is what you overlook.
Not all the same. They copied the great flood. The Bible.
You're
has
talking
great
about
flood.
facts. I'm talking about exact copy. Now, if you said he's gonna paraphrase it, change the wording,
Yeah.
so Moses will now be an inventor
Inventor.
of other facts,
Because
other details.
we cannot deny it. That
So it's
Moses,
like this. It's two things. He invented the other facts, or he was supernaturally inspired. You think of these two things.
No, I am confused because if Moses write the Torah, the five books, of course he has basis to, because his father or his mother tells to him the story, or there is something written script or manuscript that he can copy that information. So if it's just from God and directly talks to him or tells to him that then he writes it, it's not.
You misunderstand a while ago what I was saying. You were not listening. I said,
So that,
the Bible, first 5 books, let's talk about that, was not written down like it was just spoken from the ear.
okay,
Similar to the prophets. I'm talking of the prophets.
the prophets, okay.
So, the claim of others to William Branham
Saying-
it was supernaturally spoken from heaven.
Heaven.
So all his teachings after 1963 directly came from heaven.
Okay.
Now, the truth is, a while ago I said, you have to understand this carefully. Brother Branham also learned from other denominations. And the angels guided him like a Berean, which one to take and preach Okay, now, let's go to Moses.
So Moses
He
copied
might-
all
he-
the
No,
writings.
no. It was reordered, rearranged by God. You get the picture? Or you can say he did it by himself. Two things. He did it by himself, or it was ordered by God, reordered by God.
So you cannot refuse that he copied the story.
It's not
of the
copy.
other.
It's not copy. It is what we call a...
Because in the ancient Sumerian...
when you say copy, he has to use the same word.
Okay, no, not copy.
It's not copy.
It's not copy.
He
Like
has
inspired.
information
He has information
of
from them.
the others. So when God inspires him to write, those informations are included. Now, it's like this.
So
A while ago I said, just follow me, many newspapers,
Yes,
newscasters,
I understand.
cover the same story.
Yeah, I understand.
Now,
But they have different.
but
you and I, let's say, you will be preaching and prophesying to someone.
yeah,
You will be citing something that really happened that everyone knows.
yes.
But when you cited it from your own knowledge.
Okay, yeah,
You might have read it from the newspaper or you might have experienced it yourself. But when you cited it to preach it, when God anoints that message, God uses historical facts to bring out His message.
So meaning to say, the ancestor of Moses from Adam, the sons of God has no written evidence of the history that happened. So they just it
Oral
came from
tradition.
no, this just came from the other civilization, and our lineage, the lineage from Adam until Moses is not preserved because they are died or they have no written
You
document.
know how they spread out like the Roman Catholic.
Do you mean
So when they spread out,
meaning to say that Nimrod came to Adam from Adam?
that is where you got it wrong. Because when they spread out,
So the Hebrews
You
has
thought
no
they have to copy from each other. Moses had to copy
But everyone
from
has-
them. Look at this. If you look at this spread of humanity,
So they have their own writing
whether writing or common knowledge,
common knowledge.
they don't have to copy to others because they have their own, whatever level they are in,
How about
whatever timeline they are in. When the time God inspired them to write, they don't have to get copies from others. They don't have to copy from others or ask about others. They have their own knowledge of it. Because everyone has their own knowledge of it.
But no ancient discovery about the Hebrew people that they have their old manuscript about that history. So the existed
The Hebrew people came from the line of Shem.
oh,
So there
Shem-
is
Shem
a
is,
higher.
so Shem is just came from to the
No.
line of Nimrod?
No. Why are you talking about Nimrod?
No,
Listen to me.
because I do believe that the lineage of Adam until to Shem, they have the writings of the information of the history of Garden of Eden,
Not that
the
detailed.
blood.
Not that detail.
Maybe they have, but
It's in different versions. So now, whatever culture who wrote it down, it's not your problem to say, oh, the Bible might have copied it from there. Moses might have copied it from there.
So that is the reason why many people now
They use it
they
to
did not
they
believe
use
in
it
the
to
Bible.
remove the faith from the Bible, from as God's word.
They did not believe on the Bible. They
Did you know they're nitpicking what they read from the Bible?
Mhm.
They're nitpicking other only things they want to disprove,
Yes.
but it's circumstantial because there's similarity. Oh, it was just copied.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Code of Hammurabi.
Why do they ignore other biblical vindications that were discovered in the Old Testament, the first 5 books?
Okay.
that were authentic historically, archaeologically. So, the Bible is supernaturally inspired. If you just go over all these biblical dedications, they did not go over. They
Yes,
should
yes,
have,
of course.
it's open in the internet. They could just copy it down and one by one debunk it, refute it.
Yes,
No,
debunk.
they just chose certain portions and make certain circumstantial claims. There's circumstantial claims. We can counterclaim also. You claim it was copied. We claim it was not copied because if it would be copied, it should be exact.
Exact word.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not only Super that has that story. So they have to research further.
About the
Completely taping is earlier than Sumeria.
so was the reason.
There is another kind of story that is shocking to Christians and maybe acceptable to pagans. There were cultures before the time of Adam and Eve. Human cultures,
Oh.
pagan cultures, goddess of fertility cultures.
Before Adam and Eve.
Yes. So, when Adam and
I want to
Eve,
search.
but this culture is not sophisticated. These are like primitive men.
Primitive, no?
But their primitivity involves the primitive tools. They have burial. Now, how can you say these are animals when they have burials? Because elephants also bury their dead.
Oh, really?
Yes! Elephants! They have like November 1,
They gather?
All Saints Day. They gather together to celebrate their dead.
Oh,
Yes, they get the bones of their previous ancestors. They carry them around like the eagles. See? So it's surprising. The animals have many similarity to
the
earthly men.
Yeah.
That you think are earthly men, they're so sophisticated. That's why the atheists, scientists today, claim we're just animals also.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just the same.
Evolution.
Dolphins, there are dolphins that are homosexuals. There are animals that rape other animals.
Yeah.
See that? So,
Gerald, do you have question about David and
What about David and Solomon?
Solomon,
They
yeah.
said that.
would you come here?
They said that David and Solomon does not have a archaeological
Evidence.
evidence? Yeah.
Yes, that they.
The temple itself is an evidence.
What about
David, there was an evidence.
What about
There are many archaeological
The name of the
relics.
city is David and
Yes.
Solomon, but the person,
We're talking city or person?
the person?
the city. But the person,
The city of David was initially
even the university,
Jerusalem.
no. The person, even the Tel Aviv University says that
There's no
David
archaeological
and
evidence.
Solomon did not exist.
Because they were corrupted by pagan thoughts. But atheist thoughts. But there are archaeological things. Did you know that the Muslims are preventing the archaeologists from digging up the temple sites?
Okay.
They've dug, and it's being sold in the black market,
Oh,
the antiquities market. There are the many names of the Old Testament priests there. There are lots of them.
Solomon's David's porch.
So the porch, the Solomon's porch, that's one of the evidence. They were made in the time before Solomon. So the Temple Mount is there, and there are many other things that are there. The Tomb of Cyrus. All meticulously told in the Bible. Some archaeologists even use the Bible to look for their finds.
So
that's just false.
So the Bible is
Their claim is just, there's a spirit to discredit the Bible as God's word.
okay.
They want to look at the Bible as some historical book. That's one copy from Sumer. But the others, not just historical, but completely fiction. That's what others would want to do. Okay?
Okay, this is my last question. How about the God Who is the strongest God? The God of the Hebrew, the God of Sumer, the God of Inca or Romans, Greek. Are they similar to our God, or they are pagan?
They are a perversion of the original
So,
God.
is
And
that-
there is a contest between these two in the Bible, like Egyptian God versus God of Moses. Then there was a contest with the Assyrians, there's a contest with the Philistines, with the other tribes. Their own God versus that God.
So who is
There
the
is a
real
contest
God?
of the prophets.
Who is who is the real God? Our God or their God? Their God also gives miracles to them.
But in the contest with Moses and the Egyptian priests, God showed His power by suppressing the magical powers. Their magical powers still manifested, but the rod of Moses that turned into a snake ate them up. Because it shows the power of God. Another, when they took the Philistines took the ark,
Yeah.
they placed it in front of their idols. Their idols fell down.
Fell down.
So those are supernatural contest. It shows the contest is not just between one God and another idol God, but sometimes it's between a false prophet and a true prophet. Sometimes it's between Mount Carmel,
Yeah.
contest between two gods.
So it can be our God, the true God, Yahweh, is also their pagan God.
The name also, this is another thing that they misunderstood. Is it possible that the word Yahweh were used by the pagans?
Okay.
My answer, yes. George.
So our Tagalog Bathala is same Yahweh.
Yes. That's why there is no sin in using the word God from German. God. 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 And the word
Allah.
Allah. There's nothing wrong because that's Eloah. Ilah. That's actually Ilah.
Elohim.
Actually, Allah is Al-Ilah. Just
Shortcut.
contracted. They don't know it's a shortcut. Al-Ilah is the complete word.
Complete
And they
word.
claim it's a name. Let's talk about the name. Yahweh was not originally a name.
Yahweh.
It is
Uh,
an adjective.
Adjective, yeah.
Then became a title. Then
Something.
a name.
So, it can be that our true God, Yahweh, is also their pagan God. They just call it Zeus, Allah, Bathala, and many other.
Zeus is a personal name. It's a proper noun name. It's not a common noun. They
Oh,
claim
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
common noun that's
Yeah.
copied together. But it's not. Zeus is a proper
Proper
noun
noun.
like Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
Proper noun. It did not come from there just because it sounded the same. That's how stupid they are. The sacred pronunciations.
So God spread.
So there's nothing wrong if you use, the pagans have used it. The pagans have used the word Elohim because it's a generic word. It's a generic word.
Actually, Kuya Francis
Like the Lord.
knows that.
Baal. Now let me answer this Baal. Did you know that those that separated from us and claim the word Lord comes from Baal? Do you know the deception there? Baal is another tribal language, pagan language for Lord.
Yes. So
Like we have our word Tagalog Panginoon.
Panginoon.
The English word Lord, Master, in that their language is Baal. So the deception as though, oh, the word Lord came from Baal. Even the pronunciation is not the same.
I thought that
That's
Baal is
that's
the
how
proper
deceiving
name.
they are. Just because you can trace it in the dictionary,
But Ruben thought
I thought that
properly.
Baal is the proper name
Now-
of God.
yes, but then sometimes they use it for interchanging with word Lord, like become a title. Let me give you an example. Sadiq. Sadiq, Brother Fernand from Saudi Arabia, what does it mean?
Good man.
Huh? What did he say?
Friend.
Friend. Now what does Sadiq really mean? Just. Now how did it become friend? Because when others introduce you as Sadiq, just man,
Good man.
it's on, as time went on, it became friend. So it's a corruption of the original meaning.
Okay.
See that? Like shalom, it's peace. But it became a goodbye or greetings. See? So the same with Baal that became Lord. And now when it became Lord, to finish read in the dictionary, some deceiving fellow
Yes.
wants to use that to say, your word, Lord, because the English word came from there.
No.
How stupid are you? I hope you're very much watching this because I hope you have the...
I want to thank Avian Cruz. You know Avian Cruz.
I hope you can be honest to see this because we have our own language, Panginoon. Why don't you berate that?
Avian Cruz did not believe. Of course, he
He's
is.
incorporating, maybe he's incorporating from sacred pronunciation.
His sacred pronunciation is before. Then he goes to. He
It's
did
no
not
longer-
believe on the Bible because the Bible is just plagiarized of the Moses plagiarized the story from the.
That exact plagiarism is in the book of Isaiah and the book of Chronicles. So there's an exact plagiarism in the later prophets. But in the first 5 books of Moses, there's no exact. When you say plagiar, it should be exact copy.
Exactly.
But if you did not use the same exact words, it's not plagiarized. It's either you paraphrased it and invented it, or God inspired it to do so.
So you mean to say, Brother Francis,
I am satisfied.
what I heard,
Please come here.
I have many.
That Moses, when he write the 5 Torah, the 5 books which is Torah, it is the direct revelation from God.
It's inspired by God, but it's not spoken
So
supernaturally.
when he was writing,
The first 4 books, was it written by men? You can see the efforts of men. So there are some discrepancies, a little bit of details, but it's all, everything is inspired by God. How it survived until our time
so you mean
is
inspired, direct,
prepared by God, by predestination.
So it is direct revelation from him.
Let me explain. Let me clarify. Direct revelation spoken from heaven is similar to the prophets and similar to John's book of Revelation.
Similar to
And
Bible.
the first five books of Moses is similar to the 4 Gospels. When the 4 Gospels were written down, it's like a historical synoptic, a summary. So, the first 4 books, the synoptic Gospels, were historical narratives.
So it is
Was
collected.
this inspired by God? Not directly.
So collective according to Bible.
How it was written down, God
So we collect
ordained
the
it to
information.
be as our evidence.
So,
So that is how God inspired it. How did God inspire Moses?
So when did
God inspired Moses. Moses had his own knowledge. Moses could put his own words, but he was guided by God in writing down the first 5 books.
There's a basis from another
It's not copying basis. It's
Common knowledge.
common knowledge
Common
in their
knowledge.
time. And that's how
It's like a legend.
the others are deceiving people. Oh, he copied it.
this
It's
happened.
common knowledge among men. Example, you have some knowledge of the earthquake. Others have some knowledge. They claim you copied it from You had the same source.
Do you mean Sumerian civilization?
I'm just one of the
They-
recipients of that common
No,
knowledge.
no. They write it, and the Hebrew people did not write it. The
Some cultures wrote it down, some did not.
So the Hebrew people did not write down.
The Hebrew people
The Hebrew people?
did not write it down.
Oh yeah.
There could be some writings, but not as extensive as our Bible. Because when they wrote it down, they don't have any dealing from God to compile it.
So they. Oh,
To
so
scribe in the kingdom of heaven, bring out of his treasures.
how Moses write the genealogy of Adam?
Because I could say God inspired me. Now, if you have this question, was there other copies of it? I cannot answer that for now. Ask Larry Ernest. But even if he had a copy from others, I believe it's not that detailed. And I believe it's also common knowledge. Did you know that ancestry has some common knowledge? They could not trace the other siblings, but at least they could trace the primary
The
sons.
primary, yeah. So they just know that. Okay.
So let's all stand up.
Okay, that's okay.
I request closing prayer. The subject is too good. I hope you did not waste. How many minutes did I take?
46.
Okay. Brother Noel?
Ay,
Sino yun?